sorry, weren't you supposed to go now? Did you reserve for some reason? Does that seem weird to anyone else?
Receiving you.
They got 3 people moving the next phase. Alright, I'm going to move to here to get 1 pip of evasion at least. It's not going to generate too much heat. The Shadowhawk is still really exposed for these laser shots, and he hasn't moved yet. There's a chance we could potentially take him out. Although this crab, wow, huge percent chance to hit this crab. He does have the forest for decreasing of damage, but mostly, like, he's super exposed. He's unsteady, which I think helps. Yeah, we're just going to go and fire at this crab with all weapons. Might be able to kill him before he gets to act. And again, if we can have him actually just be destroyed, well, we got rid of the laser.
Something good.
Sith Love Child, hey, thank you very much. Polar Vortex hitting Buffalo, New York pretty hard. Lake effect snow piling up. Figured it was as good as time as any to try Dwarf Fortress. Everyone is dead. Some greenbacks towards the Whiskey Fund. Everyone is dead is really like the primo sort of outcome of Dwarf Fortress. Congratulations on playing it correctly. And thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, this weather has been nutso. If I move here to get 1 pip of evasion, I guess I still get a good shot on you. So we could also just stand still. The thing is, the difference between standing still and 1 pip evasion isn't that much. If I just stood still and shot you here, yeah, we'd have about the same odds. I guess the one difference is that if I stay here, someone might be able to jump behind me and melee me from behind, which would be less than good. If I do this, I'm going to be turned awkwardly, but I think it would be very hard for someone to get in my rear arc. Or it'd be harder. So we'll do this. It's going to be okay. We've got 1 target over here. Can we go and throw in some more weapons? No. I think this is going to happen a lot with this mech. It's going to routinely fire these 3, but occasionally have an alpha shot with more stuff, which I think is a fine design. Oh my god, what does it take to kill this crab?
Target's taking a critical hit.
Play the campaign Flashpoint DLC gives... Oh, you want to know what differences the Flashpoint DLC add? So it does add some more mechs. One of the things it adds is these Flashpoints. There are missions that are like multiple missions. Like you sign up for 1 contract, you get multiple missions in a row, and sometimes they're what's called, I think they call them continuous, where there's no time between missions, so you can't go back and repair. You can swap your mechs. So ideally, you want to do those Flashpoint missions if you've got... You'd ideally like to have more than 4 mechs, so because you may have to do some swaps from 1 mech to another between missions without an opportunity to repair. All right, I think it is time for this Jenner to move. Kane's Jenner here, and yeah, you're just going to come over here and punch this guy. You could go and punch him in the back, but if I did that, I'd probably open myself to some rear attacks from the LRMs. So the side shot here, I think, is going to be okay. This is going to allow us to burn off a bunch of heat for Kane.
Moving to position.
And melee attacks are fun. Although the Jenners are pretty bad at melee attacks because of, well, because they don't have arms and stuff, so they only have the base 35 melee damage. So lighter the mech, and depending on like appendages and things like that, they do different melee damage. So I think Jenners are one of the worst. But, you know, can't win them all. Ow, okay. Artistic Sumo's taking a ton of damage in the Blackjack. He hasn't lost anything yet, which is good, but we may have to really be much more defensive with him. Kane's going to take some LRM fire. Still has a 40% cover, though, and a lot of evasion, so that's going to be all right. Need to put safety lights on Kane. Kane, again, Kane is surprisingly enough, he's not the one. Like, he's still got full armor, for crying out loud. It is this turn now. I think we will act with him. I'm partially tempted to get behind the Shadowhawk and shoot it from behind, but he's still going to have, I was going to say, all his rear armor. For some reason, he's lost some rear armor. I don't know why. But what I think we're actually going to do is see about doing something like this. And yeah, taking a shot on this Jenner. I like this. This will give us 2 pips of evasion again. We'll still be in the forest. And we're going to apply some more damage on the Jenner that we just hurt. And from the same side, we just hurt him. We actually did leg damage. We could do a called shot, but I think I'm going to save... Because every time you precision strike, it costs 30 for resolve. We only have 30. I think I'm going to want to save that for another called shot from someone else.
Take this!
And it only slightly increases your odds to a single location. Hey, we destroyed the left arm, which is good. I don't think you lost a weapon with that. Is there a sword or any kind of melee weapon to make purely melee mech? Well... I'm happy you asked that, IR Elite. There's several different ways to make super badass melee mechs in this game. First of all, again, some mechs do have slightly better melee stats. In particular, the Flashpoint DLC adds the Hatchetman mech. I believe it's a medium mech, and it actually has a hatchet that normally sits under its arm. When it goes to a melee, it sort of flicks it up, so it's got the hatchet, and then it chops down like that. Does huge melee damage that way. In addition to that, there are arm mod, like, you can design all your mechs in here, right? Choose which weapons go where, do all that, like, that stuff. And there are arm mods that you can install in the arms that give you greater melee damage. They're not specifically flavored as whatever, but one could certainly imagine that they represent clubs and swords and things like that, which are things that exist in the tabletop version of BattleTech. In fact, in the tabletop version of BattleTech, if you have a mech that's got actual, like, hand actuators, one of the things you can do is you can rip up a tree and beat people with it like a club.
What are your orders?
And melee's awesome, so, you know. Again, we'll usually save Jebediah for last. One of the things with missiles is the missiles work really well if you've already punched through armor somewhere, because the missiles tend to just do a shotgun sort of spray. They hit a lot of different parts, which means if something's already, the structure's already exposed, it's much more likely that a missile will hit one of the exposed bits, which will trigger a crit. So you tend to want to use them later. The blackjack here, which, look at it, we're orange all over. It's interesting that people have mostly moved away. We may have to do a very defensive move with the blackjack, and even though it kind of sucks, like, we're going to be taking your firepower out of the battle. We can get 4 evasion pips if we jump here. We can also get 4 evasion pips back here, but we definitely won't be in range. It'd be nice to maybe drop in the water, because then we could use all 5 of our weapons a little bit more consistently. If I do that, I'm outside of the optimal range for the medium lasers. Whereas if I jump, you know, say here, we're within it. But then we're also in optimal range for all of them, and I think the blackjack's taking too much damage. I might go ahead and do a maximum range jump. It'll only allow me to take a single shot with the AC-5. And even then it won't be great, but I'd rather not lose the blackjack. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump backwards. I won't have the cover, but we'll take less damage. We'll also cool down a little faster, which is nice. So we have the best chance to hit the crab, but it is in the forest. We have almost as good of a chance to hit the Shadowhawk, and it's not in the forest. So I'm going to take this shot over here. Just for future things, I'll turn the lasers back on, but they are out of range. Miss. Does still remove an evasion pip, which is good. Although if the Shadowhawk moves now, he'll probably get it back, but, you know, can't win them all. Shadowhawk's moving forward to melee. Ooh, that's rude. Because with mechs of our weight, sometimes I can just take a body part off. Like, just like that.
Yep.
So that was Jebediah. He's losing a little stability because of this, too. I'm going to just jump you as far backwards as I can here, because you're still going to be in range for everything. Actually, Wolverine will be within min range, which is less than ideal. But I think we'll shoot the crab, because the crab hasn't acted yet. So yeah, I'll just do this. Jump as far backwards as possible. You can see heat's not really a problem with the Wolverine, but we'll still do this. This has got, like, tons of exposed areas all over. I don't need to do a cold shot at this point.
All weapons.
This will probably rip the crap out of the crab. Even with slightly less damage being in the forest. Seriously, that's it?
Reporting.
At least he's still unstable, and he lost one of his guns. So it's going to be unstable and with slightly less gunnery before he takes his own action. So that's something. A little bit of a scratch on the Vindicator, not much. And the Vindicator's going to go
Waiting
now.
for orders.
The Vindicator's still not running very hot. I mean, I could just melee him. 95% chance to hit for 55. If I did this, our expected damage is more like 68, which is pretty good. And actually, why don't I just jump backwards this way? Expected damage is still good. We won't have cover, but we can keep our heat quite low. Although the Vindicator's actually got fairly good heat management. 4 pips of evasion should do okay. I guess I could do this. If I'm not caring about the heat reduction from the water. If I do this jump, I'll still have 3 pips of evasion and be in the forest. Alright, let's do this. And then, yeah, we're going to shoot the Shadowhawk. I'd expect slightly better odds than this. I guess he moved a lot, so he's got a lot of evasion. I'll do the precision shot here. And, yeah, we'll aim center of mass for the Shadowhawk. That was disappointing. Oh, Kane's taking some damage. He's fine, though. Kane's doing what he's supposed to do. Titan, I have no idea what you're talking about, man. No idea whatsoever.
Waiting
Nope.
on you, Commander.
Nope, don't even know those words you're saying. Sorry. Let's see. Did we kill that one Jenner? Oh no, he's right over here. So there might be some reason to go now. If I move here, it's not great range. Neither is that. If I go here, there's still not great to hit chances. I get 5 pips of evasion and be in the woods. It'll generate some heat, but you know what? We're going to do this. And again, while Kane is in lighter mech, he's so good at generating evasion and stuff like that. If people want to waste their shots against him, that's kind of fine. We'll turn off one of the lasers so we don't overheat. We can do the most damage against the Panther, but it hasn't been touched yet. The Shadowhawk's not about to act, so I'm less eager to shoot him. There's the crab as well. Like, the Jenner's about to act, but our hit chances aren't as good. He is weaker. We'd be hitting him in the rear armor as well, which is nice. I'm actually tempted to actually go ahead and overheat, but 60% chance is really quite poor. I think I'll shoot the Shadowhawk.
Got it.
Heat sink destroyed. I'm gonna take down a leg for crying out loud. And yeah, removing evasion is good too, because it sets up for more shots. It feels like we should only have to just like sort of pishnut the Shadowhawk and the crab for it to fall over. But they don't. They keep going. It's amazing. They're still targeting the Blackjack, but hardly. And even though he's fairly damaged, but watch him like watch the Blackjack lose a body part before any of these like Shadowhawks and crabs. Wow, I didn't realize they'd be targeting him so hard. We're clearly gonna have to move Artistic Sumo first to get him his evasion
got
tips.
past my armor.
Just saw the feature video for the upcoming Rising Storm or Gathering Storm DLC. It looks even more out of the world before. Yes. I mean, not that I can comment about having played it or anything, but yes. So again, this is going to generate a fair amount of heat, but I'm kind of okay with it. If we go here, we get 4 pips of evasion. We're back in the woods. We can take a shot on the crab, and I mean, this time for sure, right? I was still overheat alert with the jump. There we go. Turn off 1 medium laser, and we're going to be okay. Yeah, which is better. It's more, generates more heat and does less damage than the AC-5. Okay, crab,
Fire.
die! Die! Right leg destroyed. That's something.
Reporting critical
Because
hit.
getting up gives you a huge penalty to hit. Huge penalty to hit. So even though the crab's not freaking dead yet, it also hurts the initiative. Not that it matters so much, but yeah. So yeah, a bunch of phase 2 actions. I'm gonna keep sort of doing the back away game here with Jebediah's Wolverine to make it hard for anyone to get in range for a proper shot. While meanwhile, I'll still have plenty of odds. The Shadowhawk still has all of its weapons. We could also just go for a finishing blow on the crab. But it doesn't have its large laser. Its medium laser is damaged, and it's going to have a huge penalty to hit from standing up. I'm just going to hit the Shadowhawk here. I don't like we only get the 75% chance, and it's in the forest. But still.
Firing.
There we go. Left leg goes down. AC-5 crit. That's huge.
Critical hit.
So stressed, fatigue, stressed, and panic are part of a mod that the pilots have to do psychological rolls to not like freak out. Gives them penalties to their hit chance and increases the odds that they're just gonna bug out and hit the escape button. Having guts improves your ability to resist that. And also being in bigger mechs makes them more resistant. So early on, people were just like ejecting constantly because the light mechs have a really high tendency to do that, and the pilots had no guts. It's going to become less of an insane thing. Hey, Midnight Sun here! Thank you very much for the bits! Here's watching... Hang on. Been watching back when you still had a real job. Thanks for the years of entertainment. Yeah, it's been a while since I'm doing this full time now, which is such an incredible experience. But yeah, because it was hard. I was doing like 100 hours a week, and I still have a day job. Oof, oof. All right, so I'm actually going to do a cult shot to the other leg here. If we can successfully do that, we will get full salvage from the Shadowhawk. The Shadowhawk's a really good base. Left torso, left arm, pilot injured, both legs destroyed. Okay.
Destroyed.
Excellent. Okay, so the Shadowhawk's out, and we should. I don't know. Did we kill a torso in there? Killed an arm. I don't remember, but we should get pretty good Shadowhawk salvage. And yeah, it's a really good mech. Because there really is a difference in some of the mechs. Even two mechs with the same tonnage will have different amounts of tonnage actually available for armor and equipment and things like that. Because they have the different engine sizes and different stuff like that. They also have different hardpoint connections, and so some of them are more useful than others. So Kane's Jenner over here, still running very, very hot. I would love to do a melee attack here. It would leave him pretty exposed. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to reserve Kane, because he's still in good position, well defended right now. I don't want to move Kane before the lights and leave him in an exposed position, but if all the lights move, there's really not a whole lot of other stuff up here that can attack Kane, so he'll feel pretty confident about running out of the forest and meleeing. And if we can get Kane into a fire starter, I have two parts for a fire starter. I need a third part. Unfortunately, there's not going to be one on the mission. That's what I'd love. The fire starter is a really good mech to build for melee. He's fast. Oh, that's the other thing I was talking about melee builds. There's also all these support weapons, and these support weapons fire when you do a melee attack. So that includes machine guns, small lasers, and flamers. And flamers are fucking cool. So you run up, you punch someone, and then you light them on fire. And then they overheat so much that they start taking internal structure damage. Some of their parts might explode internally, but also they run so hot that now they can't fire their own guns without overheating. So it's like, it's a really effective way to play. Blackjack's still feeling okay.
What's up, boss?
Dansku's still running kind of hot, but not so bad. What we need to do is we need to take a shot on the crab here.
I hear ya.
I think the best person to do that will actually be Artistic Sumo in the Blackjack here, who is running hot, and he's still highly damaged. Oh, and actually doesn't have line of fire on the crab. I guess I could move to here. Yeah, these are pretty good shots. I'm going to be pretty worried about the heat. We're not going to be able to fire everything unless I want to do even more internal damage. But honestly, at this point, Artistic Sumo is already going to have to be undergoing repair. So maybe it's not so bad if we just take one giant overheat. But I mean, we shouldn't need to. Like, if a center torso... we still need to have to do 43 damage to the center torso to kill it. F it! Full volley.
Firing a full
What's a little internal heat damage? There we go. All right. Boop, boop, boop.
My mech is overheating.
My mech is overheating. One of the things I tend to prioritize for a lot of my mech pilots is getting up to Guts 6. At Guts 6, you have a much higher window for your heat to go up before you start getting problems, which is awesome.
Receiving you.
Okay, so now that there's no one about to act, Kane can go in melee. Actually, he can melee literally anyone here. Nice thing about meleeing is it's a really good way to get a high chance to hit, and it removes a battle pip as well. So for example, I could go and punch the Jenner and remove its last pip evasion. I suppose if I do that, I could end up here. I mean, backfacing and stuff isn't as much of a concern here, because sort of kind of they're going to be able to move around anyway. It's not like Kane's taken a hit to the rear yet, so it's going to be okay.
Gonna be good.
So we'll do that.
Confirm.
We're going to save the missiles. Get a nice little shot here. Hopefully with the water we don't really overheat. Yeah, we can get a full volley without overheating. Looks like our best shots against this Jenner here. This actually might just obliterate it. Left torso destroyed, left leg, center torso. There we go. Dead. So only 3 light mechs, and then we'll have to find the insurgent leader who's still, like, lurming us from over the hill. He might be in a catapult or something. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm actually going to start moving vaguely upwards here. I don't need to as badly with Jebediah,
Engaging jump jet.
because he can sort of hit from anywhere. Okay, so we have a higher % chance, and you're not in the forest. So we're definitely going to lay fire on the It's pretty good. Pros, we ban crabs. We're having a World Congress vote here, banning some luxuries. Oh, Artistic Sumo is taking the beats from the insurgent leader. One of the nice things is once we get rid of these 2 light mechs, and then
What
they
can I
won't be
do
able
for you?
to hit us from range anymore, but that will take a while. So I'm going to go ahead and move Kane this way. Melee and ignores cover, so the fact that this guy's in the forest won't matter. It'll remove a pip, but more importantly, it puts Kane in a place where his back won't really be exposed. If someone wants to get behind him, I don't think they can be in the woods anymore, so, you know, that'll be their funeral. I mean, it's still going to be their funeral, but this Jenner's unsteady as well. More hits on Jebediah. Yeah, they're really targeting Jeb for some reason.
Damage is minor, Commander.
But you can see, because he took some initial blows, and I think the AI does like to focus fire. So if you can sort of like... Oh, they jumped behind me. They jumped behind Kane. So if you can sort of abuse that by, okay, you're focus firing him,
Nice
let's just
try.
make him unavailable. So having people start by attacking Jebediah first, and then Jebediah leaving because he's just got the lerms, or the lerms, is amazing. I'm going to make this move here. There's still going to be a very high chance to hit just because of all the evasion pips. Although, we can do a precise shot, which will be good. We'll get in the water here. Maybe we won't precise shot, because honestly, this is pretty warm here. Okay, there we go. We can get below the heat threshold. I don't usually use a precision shot when I'm not firing all my weapons, but I think it's going to be worthwhile over here. So I got less of a chance to hit with the AC-5 than medium lasers, but the AC-5s do more damage and actually generates less heat,
Locking on.
which is why I'm doing it that way. Alright, that's not terrible. What's the weather
Think
like
I
where
hit
you are?
something
Kind of
good.
chilly around. It's pretty cold here. I think it's about -20 today. It's not as bad as it has been for a while now, but
Good to go.
it's still not great. You have no heat, which is great. We'll come over here. Actually, maybe I'll just do a full rear shot on this Panther. Not that we've really done a lot of
Jumping.
rear armor shots, but it's still going to be pretty low. Plus, you can still hit the legs and arms from the rear. You can't, if you do an aim shot, you can only target the rear armor from the rear. But as far as I know, a regular attack can still hit the arms and legs and things. So I mean, even on an aim shot, I think you can still hit those things. You just can't target them. We'll just do this. It's going to be okay.
Confirmed.
I hope we can control rear, left torso destroyed, center torso destroyed. Lovely.
Hostile removed.
Crystal, before being a YouTuber, I was a programmer.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it. Liked the company I worked with, the people I worked with. It was a really hard decision to quit, but I'm very happy that I did. So this is the only target left. Jeb's getting a little hotter now because he's out of the
Move on to
water, but
receipt.
that's okay. We'll just move to be in a slightly proper range here. We'll fire, generate these missiles could really do a number on him. Light mechs are more likely to
Reporting.
GG out,
Critical hit.
but he's not doing it yet. Pass his guts check. Kane's being hit by the missiles. This guy can't decide who to missile. And hitting Kane, like, he's only taking 2 damage per missiles because of the bulwark in the forest.
I hear ya.
But we could go and see that mech. Kane's got no heat. But Kane can't really jump into a secured area here.
Waiting on you, Commander.
What I'll probably do is just scooch up to here and take the shot against this Jenner and hope to finish it off.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
It would be nice to get vision on the guy on top, but
This should
it's
be
currently
good.
not crackable. 3 hits.
Another hit like that, and
Right
you're
torso's
toast.
gone. He's stressed. Passes 50% check. And I think all he did is he just guarded himself.
Confirm.
Orders.
Artistic Sumo. Oh, it'd be nice if I could make it to the woods here. This would give us a vision over that guy, which is something, but leaves, I mean, other than 4 pips of evasion, leaves Artistic Sumo without much protection.
Yeah, Commander.
Can Dansku get vision on that guy on the top? Because it'd be nice to drop some missiles on him. I guess what I could do is I could reserve. He might still move forward. How do I feel about just reserving right now? I don't like the fact that Artistic Sumo isn't protected. However, there's a good chance...
Ready for orders.
Like, you can see him because my other mechs see him, but it's possible that no one can actually see Artistic Sumo. I should just play it safe. Let's just walk you... Actually, I'm going to jump you in the woods. I realize it generates some heat.